I'm no stranger to the Spotmatic. In fact, I've shot with just about every Spotmatic there is. But there is something special about this Spotmatic SL, and that's what it doesn't have. This camera serves as an interesting look back into the time where people were still skeptical whether or not this light meter thing was really going to stick around. Much like photographers do, they had a very specific meter that they liked using, and the SL enables them to continue to use that meter and not get bogged down with whatever internal meter this thing has. And in today's day and age, where electronics from this time period have aged like a glass of milk on the counter in the summertime, it is quite nice to see something like this that isn't held back by those foibles of the 60s and 70s. It is just a purely functional mechanical system. Now, Pentax, though, has taken a lot of risks over the years, most notably recently by reintroducing film camera. But even before then, they were still kind of on that bleeding edge of innovation, with cameras such as the MEF, sported the very first autofocus mount. It maybe wasn't the best thing, and it only worked with the one lens that wasn't super great, but still, first autofocus camera. The ES in the ES2, which was the first electronically controlled system for an SLR. Yashica beat them to the punch with the Electro being the first electronically controlled camera, but still, points for trying Pentax. But the SL serves as an example of Pentax stopping their forward momentum and taking a look back to what brought them there in the first place. It has all of those same qualities of the H3v, yet in a more modern body, such as the Spotmatic housing. Now the H3v, painfully beautiful, looks like it's been handcrafted. But the Spotmatic series, the SPs, the SP2s, the SPFs, all of these systems, they look more like they've just been stamped out of a factory. And that's not a bad thing. I still think they're very nice looking cameras. That factory-built reliability gives you the ease of mind to give the camera to a student, to send them out in weather such as this, to take it across seas on an international trip, and not get worried about things like reliability, or is this going to break down or not? Is that car going to break down or not? Probably. The SL, though, as mentioned, takes the essence of those H3v camera systems, modifies it, and creates this. Now, Pentax did this in the future as well with something like the SPF, which had similar electronic housings to the K1000, but with the Spotmatic body, with the self-timer, and of course the M42 lens mount. Now, if we're going to be talking about the M42 lens mount, I think we have to kind of begin and end that conversation with this lens right here. This is the Carl Zeiss Ultron 50mm 1.8 lens. And I'm not really one to boast about optical quality because I'm not really one to own very many high quality lenses, but this lens is one of the best. I could use words that have flair, like the characteristics of the lens, the qualities, the clarity, personality. I really don't know how to use those properly. Instead, I'll just show you a series of images that I took with this lens. I've got to give a quick shout out to my buddy John for giving me the high resolution scans. So be sure to check him out on YouTube as well as Instagram. He's doing some phenomenal work on both of those platforms, and we'll have some more content up soon, so check him out. Thank you again, John. I've made this point in the past, but if I had an H3v, something like this, and I dropped it, I would be very slow to pick it up. I'd be very cautious. I'd be like I'd be scared. I don't want to know. Did I break it? Did I ruin this, in my mind, piece of art? But I think with something like the Pentax SL, I'm not trying to play lawn darts or revisit my brief time as a shot put thrower from high school. I trust the fact that this camera is going to work no matter what paces I put it through. And I think something like the lack of a light meter actually helps because my eye's not drawn over to that right side of the viewfinder. Instead, I'm just purely focused on the composition. I'm not going to say it's made me a better photographer because I don't think really anything at this point could, but it does make me feel more involved in the experience. It makes me feel a little bit more in tune to what's going on. I'm less concerned with just trying to get that needle to match up into the middle bracket. I'm more concerned with how's the shot going to look. I think to sum it up, because I'm getting quite cold, the Pentax SL is probably not going to be the best camera for most of you watching. It's probably not even going to be a camera that you've ever even thought of wanting to own. It's not even really a camera I would recommend you look into buying. It's just a camera that I've had quite a lot of fun shooting with, and it really reminds me of the essence of the meaning, less is more. The Pentax SL, not the best camera that Pentax has ever made, certainly not the worst. Definitely one of note, and one I felt obligated to share with you. I will say that I'm very much looking forward to shooting with it again. I'm not sure when that will be, but I know that whatever environment I take it in, it will perform more than adequately. And I hope that my dedication to filming this video inspires you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.